Okay, hello everyone. So in this video we're gonna cover the first game of the top 8, which is between Thả0 and GodP. So this is a re-record, so this is the second time I'll be watching this game because the first time I recorded this my mic settings got corrupted. So yeah, let's head in. So it's not the first time I've seen this game, but it's not like I looked at the game properly, so we'll see if I see anything different this time. But probably not, honestly, based on what I remember from these games. So on the left we see like there's a bunch of like so-called standard units, but then suddenly we have Hobo inside here to support the Kyra, Azusa and Oboro. And then it looks pretty standard except for the Helena, which I think is a little bit weird for this kind of team. Like, because Helena, like, the thing she offers is threat range, I guess, against people that don't play tanks. But Elwin can do roughly the same, and that's better endgame from Elwin. And there's very little AoE in this team, so Helena doesn't help to supplement that as well. And overall, because there's Oboro, you might be thinking about taking a slower approach with Obo and the two healers. So I don't know, the Helena looks a bit odd in this box. It doesn't combo well with any of the other things that this box wants to do, I think. Like this, she's here purely for threat range. Then on the right we see, yeah, this is the Autokrato with double act again, and then the rest of them are DPS. Little bit of a AoE mix with Himiko, Helena, Wedam, Lucretia, Autokrato kind of thing. Then there's an Archon here. So first game Archon, so no fucks given, doesn't care if it's shit map. Archon is here. So yeah. Start off. Autokrato first ban. And Hilda first pick. So normally I would say like there's no real reason to ban this, even though it's like the physical tank. There's two things that can tank, right? Either CCY or Autokrato. And I don't like this ban because there's a lot of mages here, Tejas, Kyra, Azusa, Lucretia. Like there's a lot of things, even Rosen. There's a lot of things that counter the Autokrato. But I give this ban a pass because it's like his pocket, not really pocket strat, his main strat. Like he likes to play the first pick Autokrato. So you just take it away from him and see what he plays. So go straight for a double healer ban here, planning to play a bit of AoE probably. Lucretia, I mean, it opens up two things, right? It opens up either tank disable or AoE, but the tank disable gets banned in the form of Wedam, stun gets banned as well. Die hard, so solid threat range to start off the draft. Helena and Kyra gets banned. So don't know about the Kyra, probably just banning it in advance for the IBC. But I don't know, like I am a hater of Kyra in like aggressive boxes because I think she functions a lot better in a like the whole team has to support her kind of draft. So I don't value this hero at all, but yeah, it gets banned. Himiko, okay, so he's picking up all the AoE he can because the healers are banned. Double act against get banned here. You don't want to get hit by two AoEs in a row. Unable to recover. There's no actual healers here. Yeah, IBC gets picked up. So see what kind of DPS you want to buff later on. Azusa gets banned. Cherry gets banned. Cherry because of the hit and run and self-sustain. Azusa a little bit weak against AoE, but with IBC there's a lot of threat range that you can do with her. And he picks up his own IBC. He can buff Lucretia or like pretty much any other unit. This box has a lot of things that would appreciate IBC's buff, like Archon, Werner, Pepsi, Lucretia, Cherry to a certain extent. Yeah. Oboro. So the time bomb. Time bomb is in. Hobo gets banned, Lucretia gets banned. I mean, Lucretia is probably just a respect ban at this point. You'd rather fight the other two than the Lucretia. And Hobo, because Hobo can further slow things down and he also buffs the Oboro. probably. Now we see Pepsi getting picked up. Just a bit of late game against a pretty much full single target team. Helena gets banned, Werner gets banned. Helena, you know, some residual AoE damage debuffs. Werner, something that can kill Oboro, and a little bit challenging to be killed back. Like, there's an IVC, but you have to get the troop correct, basically, for IVC to kill Assassin Werner, I think. Not sure if, like, GodP is aware that this thing is Assassin or not. And that leaves Elwin and Archon here. Well, Hilda counters both of them, but you probably just take the Elwin. And it gets countered less. TJ's here, so a bit of Goel healing teleport. But not really anyone you're gonna be teleporting. I think what's gonna happen is Elwin and Himiko is gonna zone the front, and then Lucretia's gonna play like slightly at the back, getting ready to drop the black hole, and then Pepsi's just gonna shoot all the way at the back. Okay, so let's see. Hilda, double guard faction buff, Oboro, heavy centurions, sneak attack die hard trying to kill the Bisha, TJ strengthen, mass attack, IBC. Shadow Sneak Epsilon, there's no AoE other than the one that Hilda just used, so it's pretty free Shadow Sneak game. Shadow Raid Himiko doesn't need 2 AoEs. Push is not gonna do anything, doesn't think that he needs Seal, but there's also like 2 strengthens, so it's not that useful. Yeah, double AoE from Lucretia, and the rest is pretty standard. Buff from IBC goes on to Lucretia's main body and the Pepsi. Sometimes I like rather just, you know, put the buff on like both of Lucretia's units, because like, yeah, it's a very free Shadow Sneak game, but he's not really doing anything up there. And this is technically just a waste of time. You're not gonna open with him, he's gonna like miss every fucking kill. Ooh, Die Hard. So what's Die Hard trying to do here? Take 1 life off Elwin, maybe? I don't know. Not quite sure what he wants to do. If he tries to do anything, Lucretia's just gonna kill it with the puppet swap into Dark Reaper. Oh, what? Ghost gonna get sent forward. Stuns the Pepsi, but it doesn't matter because after the Die Hard dies, Pepsi always got us tier as well. But even if it wasn't, you just get unstunned from the death. So Die Hard gets traded for Himiko's talent, which is not that good of a trade, I would say. It does steal the mobility from Himiko, but it kinda doesn't matter, it already hits these 3. It's not really necessary. Two units for a Himiko. I mean, yeah, I remember this now, but Oboro's a time bomb, but it's not gonna like win 1v4 against these kind of units. Like, you need a sequence where your tank still needs to be up, basically. This thing needs 2 hits, this thing... I mean, he has that, like, the 3C with the AoE, which can be used to kill one of them. And you probably also have to pop the Epsilon at the same time. Actually, no. IVC needs to kill the Epsilon before Oboro gets to do anything. Because Oboro's, Epsilon's just gonna trade 1-for-1 for Oboro when he transforms. And then you just lose the game immediately after that. We'll see if... Well, that doesn't happen because I already watched this, but yeah. Yeah, this basically 2 DPS versus 4 DPS. You have a tank, but your tank is gonna die in like 2 turns maximum. And IBC is in defensive stance, so there's no threat range at all. Black hole starts coming in. It's a free black hole. Let's get some debuffs out. Get some nuke damage. So Oboro's playing on the third column. So he's gonna transform next turn. So we're not going for the full 4 turns. Pepsi is in range. Goes straight for IBC, gets it, doesn't get any weird Tenure Dispel. Odin's helmet on Epsilon. Doesn't really matter that much, but now it's Oboro versus 4, and he hasn't even cracked the shield on Epsilon yet. Okay, slap the shield, which is correct, I think, but he's just gonna run back, right? Oh, no. Elwin just goes straight in. Puts the passive block, dispels the guard. That means this Hilda is completely useless now. So, not sure if Elwin counters Hilda or Hilda counters Elwin. This is a very specific scenario. Elwin actually beats the Hilda. He uses the strong skill on Pepsi, which means that now you need like 2 hits to kill this, 2 hits to kill this, and that's just too much to go on. Also, there's a IBC buff on the Lucretia and the Golem, and Dark Reaper is up, which means that the game is over. When the swap comes back, I guess. Can't kill this. Elwin can just wrap around and kill this actually. Lucretia doesn't even need to do it, yeah. $1.3k HP. I mean, yeah, that's usually the most you're gonna get out of Oboro. 2 kills. Yeah, you transform, you kill one, and then whoever kills you, you kill that guy too. That is usually the most you're gonna get out of Oboro. So he can beat a 1v2, he cannot beat a 1v3, and he certainly cannot beat a 1v4. Oh yeah, okay. Thả0 gets swapped out of this game because it's a fucking sky map. It's a pretty awful map for Thả0. Not just because there's no water. Like, the no water part is fine, but the pillar makes it very hard for him to hook as well. Like, you can just chill behind the pillar. And he has to go all the way in front to hook anything. Ares in probably just because of sky map. I don't know. It's, you know, the flyer guys are pretty good on this map. But I'm not sure if it's what you want against a like hobo kind of team. Can still be pretty hard for him to get in. So Wetham gets banned, you know, sky map flyer, same shit. Double Wetham bans here actually. And Lucretia gets first pick. You know, same old shit this entire season. Hobo and Hilda gets banned, so the defensive units gets banned. Ares first pick, yeah, you know, I don't think this is worth it as a first pick. Like, just be a good boy and pick your Lucretia or your Autokrato that you love since the entire playoffs. Ares on sky map is Ares on sky map, but you're not looking to blow anything up here, so you don't really have the damage increase to go with it, so it's not worth a first pick. This is not season like 6 or season 5, I don't remember when Ares came out. But yeah, moving on from that, Helena and Lucretia, so yeah, threat range. Then he picks up IBC over here, so you know, it's a good blanket pick. There's still quite a lot of stuff that can be buffed. Kyra, respect ban, and then CC wipe because of the tank, probably. Looking at this, just wants to get rid of the Lancer tank. TJS with Ares. Yeah, this is a very, you know, when Ares first came out kind of draft. Helena, so trade range is looking very solid here. Like someone is gonna benefit from IBC down the line. And Autokrato, the off tank is banned. Actually, both of the tanks are banned before the Helena gets picked, which is it's okay. Azusa and T-Jess, so T-Jess would be more mobility and late game. Azusa is the unit that he chooses to ban against the IBC. So we're probably looking at a Pepsi here to round up the late game. Lucretia's already pretty good late game. Get a Pepsi. And then Helena's gonna open, and then probably like Cherry or Die Hard can follow. And then Pepsi just shoots at the back. So the draft is already coming together on the left. Chooses his own Pepsi, but Ares is gonna be the first guy that goes in. But like he doesn't need to be scared of Helena because he can kind of chill in the sky. But there's a Lucretia here, so Ares trade range is not really like you're not guaranteed to go first to initiate because it's just 10 range unless you are Breeze. So yeah, it's a slight problem going on there. Cherry Die Hard gets banned. For obvious reasons, Cherry hit and run, Die Hard with a stun. Yeah, Pepsi gets picked up here, round out the late game. Cherry and Rosen gets banned. Like what? This Rosen, he wants to pick Himiko? I don't think Himiko's the play here. You have... This draft is already on the losing side. Like he has no way to open up the game. Yeah, okay, he goes for the Liana, so he's planning to add again teleport with Ares and start the game that way. But after the Ares start, because he just teleported, there's gonna be no follow-up. So pretty rough looking draft already. Elwin and IBC gets banned, just trade range again. Yeah, Himiko Warner assassin trade range is like pretty trash, so and Himiko is probably just not gonna be enough. It's already soft checked by Helena because Helena doesn't care about Himiko. And you just need to hit her twice somewhere down the line. And yeah, Warner gets picked up here. I already roughly know how this game goes down, and it's just gonna be a draft loss. So buff goes on Epsilon and Lucretia. Haven't sanctioned, just in case for the Pepsi, which does bring Shadow Sneak. I almost never bring Epsilon unless I'm certain there's no AoE on the other side. Hilda, the one doesn't really count. You can get away with that. But it's just no point, Shadow Sneak, the whole point is that you want to run up and hide. But if you can't do that, that means it's kind of like a scenario where you have to kill the Lucretia first before your Epsilon goes in, which is not always the easiest thing to do. It's also a Helena that can just casually break it by standing next to you. And this Epsilon has double attack, so yeah. So in a late game, the one with 2 attacks is gonna be the one with 1 attacks. Which is what happens this game, I'm pretty sure. You just need to be careful for... Like, the Ares can break you with the 3C if you are somewhere near the target. But as long as something dies afterwards, you get a shield back or as well. Okay. Pepsi just shoots all the way at the corner. Doesn't want to have anything to do with the fight. Which is why sometimes I don't like Epsilon getting the IBC buff, like I mentioned earlier. Also, I want to say that Warner on this map is a little bit weird because, like, look at the Warner's positioning. You're trying to claim defensive stance, right? But if you want to do that, you can't really go near him within 2 blocks. So all these tiles are off limits, which is very awkward for the, landed units. I guess it's okay because, like, there's 2 flying units in this game, so... But yeah, that's one reason. And Warner is not great in these kind of like 5v5 aggressive matchups in general. Usually he's just 5th pick, like, in this case. Yeah, just something I want to point out about Warner. Mass attack, just a little bit of setup going on here. acting again already. So if you are going to act again your Pepsi, why did you proc his Shadow Sneak first? You could have acted again, send your Ares in, and then your Epsilon goes in and Shadow Sneaks. Helena moving means that you would have gotten free rail as state because the diehard can't do shit about it. But now you can't, now you still have to respect the diehard's range. Which in turn means that there's no follow-up next turn. Yeah, like this. So that's a incorrect game idea going on from Cole here. Yeah, you get your 1 kill with Ares, and that's it. No one else is in position to follow up. And then GodP just counter kills and recovers. Yeah, you kill Lucretia, which is the only AoE other than Helena. Also, that Helena move probably wasn't the greatest because the only thing that Helena can hit is a State Guard Assassin Burner, which, you know, don't hit it. So Chivalry is wasted here. But the puppet is still alive, so there's that. Pepsi just uses his 3C to kill that. It's okay because plenty of things are gonna die down the line. And you know, Pepsi just wanna stay at the back until that happens anyway. So you'd rather keep the skill on IBC and Die Hard to do their thing. Gospel on Werner doesn't really mean much. It's rough to do anything, right? Like now you can go in with Shadow Sneak, but you also have to wait for the Helena to move so that she doesn't just casually break your shield and, you know, break your weapon or some dumb shit like that. So you're gonna move TJS. Werner can't go up because it's countered by IBC. It's the troop. It's a troop matchup. Because infantry into the State Guards will most likely, I mean, I'm not sure for certain because there's very few Assassin Werners I played against, but I'm pretty sure it's a kill. But yeah, this game, assuming you play properly, there's really no way back for player 2. Pepsi walks in, got a piece like, I don't care, take your pick. Like, you come in and kill something, you're dead immediately. The puppet just goes in front, blocks. He just jumps on the Pepsi, going for 1 kill, probably the Die Hard at this point. Gets it. Helena's just gotta counter kill it. Because Helena doesn't have Chivalry for quite a while. It's from the top. I would have preferred to hit from the, you know, I get it because Helena more steps, more damage, but I don't think you need more steps for that. I would prefer Helena to be like here so that the Epsilon has to come here to kill her. But at the end of the day, it's fine because even if Pepsi tries to kill Helena from here, it's actually still in range. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, just nice. So okay, I guess it's alright. But that is definitely one of the worst plays you could make. Like, not to say that he would have won if he did something else, but that just immediately loses you the game because now you don't have 3C to do anything. IBC's just gonna kill this somewhere down the line later, and then the game's just over because you won't be able to do anything. Like there's not enough time for this to come back, even with the egg again. Yeah, just pieces out on Epsilon. I'm not sure if that was, I don't know. Like maybe if this guy was in attack stance, he could have tried to kill this. And then Pepsi counter kills. Yeah, no matter how you look at it, this Pepsi just beats this Pepsi. Just hands down. He has 2 attacks. There's nothing you can do about it. Even if he somehow waits until 3C comes back. There's nothing to do here. Yeah, IBC just finishes off the Warner. Ooh, that was the last turn of attack stance actually, so it's pretty, you know, just in time. Again, go in front. Sleepy, it's midnight. Yeah, Pepsi chills in the sky because, you know, you don't want Helena to break the shield, but what can you do? Mass attack, but you can't get stance back. Skymat is quite annoying to position. The IBC gets... Oh, the skill actually came back already, so... Yeah, with the egg again, that was a lot faster than I thought. But... Ooh! Oh right, it's Odin's. I forget about it because like it's very rare that people are running Odin's on this. Now you what? You just shivery break the shield, right? Just end turn twice next to her, next to the Pepsi. Yeah, the Helena's gonna die. But it's okay because the, you know, the field is all for Pepsi to take already at this point. So yeah, normal circumstances, do not try to hit a Pepsi with Helena, you will die. Even if you like break his weapon like this. And the other thing that I want to mention is something about Epsilon's shield. So the shield got dispelled by Odin's, and that actually doesn't put the shield on cooldown, like in this case. Like if you break it with attack, if you lose it by taking damage, you will get a 1-turn cooldown where you cannot trigger the shield again, even though the weapon's broken. But you know, but if you get it dispelled, you can actually get it back immediately. Like the Helena dies here. So not sure if big brain play or but in any case, Epsilon's just gonna win this game. You have Liana, it doesn't beat Pepsi. We can move on to the next game. You can try, but wait, why is the damage count? Let me look at the damage counter properly. Because player 2 actually has better damage. What turn is this? 11. You just keep hitting at this point, I think. Why move 3 steps before hitting? Liana's not gonna hit you, she's just gonna keep healing. Why not just like... Honestly, you could even stay in place. Like, this Liana's not gonna do damage to your gargoyles. You could have just... Oh, I mean, you have to melee, so yeah, you have to get off, but... Why bother move? Why? Like, if this game comes down to damage, that might be game losing by moving 3 steps and nerfing your own onslaught. So, Liana's last ditch effort on damage. But GodP's already winning on damage, so this game's over. So, although I said that the draft was a pretty convincing win, it came quite down to the wire in terms of damage. Why did Cole have so much more damage at like when the 1v1 first started? I mean, half of it came down to the Odins making forcing the Helena sacrifice. I'm pretty sure Helena did not need to be sacrificed. I think if you use double chivalry to break the shield and then Pepsi just trades with the other Pepsi, it would have been fine as well. Because you already know what buffs are dispelled, you know you still have attack buff, and if you stand twice next to the Pepsi, I'm pretty sure Pepsi will be able to kill that. And then Helena will be easier to win the 1v1s against the Liana at the end. But yeah, anyways, for game 3. So we're back to the Lucretia ban. It's not a sky map, so no need. I mean, chooses to ban the Lucretia over the weather. Whereas Wet Ham banned, like this guy always first bans Wet Ham into the double healer, so something like game 1. And he goes back to his Autokrato first pick. So this is more like game 1, but the Luxia gets banned instead of the Autokrato. So back to his comfort pick. Double AoE gets banned, IBC comes out, yeah, there's so many mages to fight this Autokrato. It's actually really annoying to play. 2 of them gets banned, but there's still Azusa and Tejas, if you so wish it. And he picks his Liana. This is basically what we've been seeing from the first series, the top 16 one. And he goes back to it. Cherry and Diehard gets banned. Which is, very similar to the first game of this series as well. Getting rid of stun, getting rid of hit and run. And Azusa gets picked up, so she does want to secure one of the magic DPSs at this stage of the game. Helena and Diehard. Like, this is gonna be spoiler alert because I remember this very much. But this Autokrato doesn't want to bring a tank, which to me it doesn't really make sense. That's just stubbornness. Like, he wants to do his disable Hilda like he did in his top 16 game. But normally you have Liana and Autokrato. This Helena is supposed to be useless. You're not supposed to need to ban it, but he doesn't want to play it as a tank for whatever reason. So yeah. And I think this Epsilon pick is bad as well, because you've probably heard me mention this quite a few times by now, but at this stage of the meta, in order to pick your Epsilon, I think you need to have units that can initiate for you in the first place to get the stacks rolling in. And right now, that's not something that he has. So it's pretty awkward right now. Like, you could probably just pick this later. And also, these 2 guys have the potential to just outright dispel your shield and kill you. And you can't guard it, although he's not gonna bring guard anyway, so Elwin, so all of the DPSs can just straight up kill the Pepsi. It's a pretty shit pick. TJS and Cherry, more hit and run and mage stuff, leaving the Epsilon in. And he picks up the Elwin. So one thing about Elwin is that if you passive block and you dispel the Hilda's command range, the Archon can actually hook, if that's what you're going for. But more likely than not, he's just trying to do his thing with the assert. Is it assert? Yeah, the one that steals buffs. So T just gets round banned and then act again. So no double act again, no act again teleport, which makes sense. Then Pepsi gets picked here. So normally Pepsi against Autokrato is pretty shit, but this is a 5th pick. So, like, it's kind of whatever. And it's really sad that Alastra gets subbed in on Gemini Bridge and doesn't get picked on the 5th pick. Honestly, I think Alastra is actually not too bad, but well, the Pepsi was valued more. Warner gets picked here. Archon, poor guy, got subbed in on Gemini Bridge, but doesn't get picked either. This Warner 5th pick, multiple times already. Let's take a quick look at their skills. Pepsi double attack, no point bringing Shadow Stink against this anyway. And yeah, as you can see, assert. Stubbornness. Like, you're playing against Elwin. I mean, I have nothing much else to say. Azusa pretty much never changes her skills. IBC elected to pick Senseis into this matchup. And actually, I was gonna say wins the gamble against the Autokrato, but Autokrato pretty much always brings Lava Titan against Elwin anyway. You already brought Lava Titan? Why not just bring the guard? I don't understand the thought process. It just has to be stubbornness and like one-dimensional game plan. Like, he gets this draft, he has to play Assert. That's it. But IBC bringing Sensi makes her mobility a bit cucked on this map because the water and the city walls, so she has to take the long way through. But yeah, it's not that major of a problem. So this game is gonna start out slow. Like, this Pepsi move doesn't mean anything. He's not gonna jump in. I'm not a fan of blowing Shadow Stealth on the first turn, even though you're not playing against AoE. There's no purpose behind this move. Why are you gonna kill? Pepsi is not a kill because there's the anti-crit. Elwin's just gonna get his revive. Can't kill Azusa, you can't kill IBC, so what does this do? This does nothing. You can just ignore it. Then IBC buffs the Hilda and Azusa, so like Swan mentioned earlier, you don't really need to buff the Epsilon because he's not gonna go in that early, especially when he's playing against a Autokrato. You want nothing to do with the front line. You want someone in the front to force out the 3C and then you go in. Yeah, this game starts off slow for no fucking reason. Like, the initiative should be on player 2 to open up with the Autokrato and the egg again, but for some reason that never happens. Well, I mean, for some reason, but part of the reason is because of this. He can't really go near that. He has to slowly creep into the threat range and then he can open up the front with a 3C. But that's about it. He will never be able to like get everyone unless he gets a Tenor Breeze from no one, because this is Odin and this is Glory, so he can't get Tenor Breeze. That's a very comfortable thing to know going into a game. Like, my opponent cannot Tenor Breeze. There's not gonna be any random plus 3. So it's very comforting to know that. Azusa runs away from the Autokrato, which I don't think is necessary. But some weird shit can happen, like Autokrato steals your mobility and then you can't counter kill him. And you have no healer, so you're just eating fixed damage, so doesn't want that, so she runs away. And this is gonna repeat for like quite a while, I think. I remember this game starts off very slow. Oh. The Werner has been revealed to be attack stance and Azusa goes in for the kill right off the bat. So it doesn't care about... I mean, I'm not sure if... What was his last move? Yeah. So the moment Autokrato comes in, this thing is guaranteed to not be defense stance and Azusa goes for the kill. Even with Assassin Werner's counter, Azusa didn't really take that much damage. I thought it would be a 1-for-1 because this thing doesn't work on when on offense. It's only before being forced into battle. So even though it's not in defensive stance, Assassin counter should still do a lot more to Azusa. Is what I thought, but apparently not. But yeah, we can. Yeah, you know, this Pepsi is just, guys, help me, give me stacks. But there's no one to help him. So what's he gotta do? Run away! Elwin goes in, he has to be the one to break the shield, which completely kills off the threat range from player 2. Here, Azusa makes a mistake in using the magic skill. So if you use the physical skill, you get hard soft and then you get your talent back and then you probably can tank an extra hit, although not necessarily because your troops are dead. And your body is going to have to tank all the troops. But regardless, I mean, it's not a kill on the Elwin anyway, so might as well get the talent back. So that's one mistake here. And it gets picked off by Autokrato's Usurp. Liana can't go and heal the Elwin because it's gonna kill his revive. Yeah, now life is good. It's a pretty big advantage going on here. You just need to find the Epsilon kill somewhere down the line. by, probably just throwing your Hilda up in front, forcing out the 3C. Ooh. Ooh. Shadow Snake, but okay, it's not in range of the slap. Yeah, looking at a draft, I wasn't really expecting only one trade to happen after 5 turns. Pepsi just goes and says, what are you gonna do? He's trying to bait out the 3C. I thought you would rather bait it out with Elwin, but he's sending in the unit that cannot be killed by Epsilon. So I guess that works as well. Even though it's pretty risky to do that. In Autokrato, you might end up being crippled for the rest of the game. Especially when you just click faction buff, that's risky as shit, although he has a lot of buffs from the IBC. Still risky. Because knowing me, I'll get my faction buff stolen immediately. But the Epsilon came out of his hiding, and he's gonna die. He's probably gonna get 1 life taken away by the opposing Elwin, but it's fine. Elwin's basically done his job at this point. But no, Hilda gets to guard them both. Something that I forgot to mention, but it's something that I noticed much later when I first looked at this, is this IBC doesn't really have movement. And why is that? We will have to go back to the turn before she buffs. Which is right here. So, a little bit more on the buff trivia. +2 cannot replace a +3 no matter the duration on the +3. So by using her stance on this turn, it means that she doesn't get it. So she needed to wait for 1 more turn before she used her power stance again. Which makes the game very different, because if this thing had +2 mobility, this Autokrato is dead like 2 turns later when he initiates with the 3C. IBC will just run out and kill him, and this game will be done cleanly. But because of that, IBC actually cannot reach, especially because of this map. Like, look at IBC's positioning. He's nowhere near the Autokrato. And now she's near. But again, we see this disabled Hilda. The guard is broken this turn, but it's not passive block yet. But Epsilon can't really run. Like, where's he gonna run? Down? No, just takes 1 life off Elwin. But Elwin goes first next turn, and he's gonna kill the IBC, which is actually the correct play, I guess, because IBC is a guaranteed kill on this. So now Pepsi just go back and kill the Elwin with the 1C. And now, in this scenario, I'll actually say the Autokrato plus Liana has an advantage, because Lava Titans, baby. And it begins. You can slowly get chipped off 30% at a time, and there's no healing, because there's no one dying. So Epsilon goes in and just slaps Autokrato in the face and does quite a bit. Lava Titans have a lot of HP, but they're not that defensively great against anything that's not cavalry. The defense stat is kinda meh, they don't have stats. So he took quite a bit of damage. So heal goes on Autokrato, and then Autokrato goes back. He goes down, I guess. I would prefer to stay on the turret. Oh, he can't stay on the terrain because Pepsi's gonna come here and then Autokrato's gonna get blocked out, so he has to come in. Tracy comes back and Autokrato actually dies. So this was very close, and it was very close to being a loss for GodP, because Lava Titans were at 71% HP, so it's just barely above the threshold for the Lancer tag to activate. And if you look at the animation, it's actually really fucking close. And that would have made a difference because it's 20% damage dealt reduced. The zombies had to finish with like 4-5 throws left. So, I mean, I'm not sure if that would have made it a fail kill because there's no defense buff or anything. There's actually 0 buffs on this. You know, it would have helped to have the parry from Iron Fist, but you know, I shouldn't harp on that anymore. But this is very close, and it's very close timing as well because faction buff is about to wear off. And you think about it, if the Autokrato managed to steal the attack or faction buff of the Pepsi on the turn that he got 3 seed, this game would look very different. But yeah, with the Autokrato, that would be the end of the game. So I have no idea why this recording took longer than the first one, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.